time when people were saying, hey, years ago, people used to stroll on the boulevard and everything. I was saying, but why can't we do it again? Let's start right here. And so and my word was always, it's so great to be a pioneer and watch things happen. And it is great because people are sitting on the benches every day. You know, we haven't got enough of them.
This gutsy little pioneer in pigtails is Emily Gail, known to hundreds of thousands of Detroiters by her first name. She's the owner of Emily's Across the Street in downtown Detroit. She was the sponsor of Emily's Fun Run last summer, and hundreds of other projects and promotions whose purpose is simply to rebuild in Detroiters a sense of joy and pride about their city. These days you won't see Emily without Herb Squires, her business partner, closest friend, and constant companion, whom Emily has nicknamed Pooh from Winnie the Pooh. And if you want to talk to them, you'll probably have to do it on the run. They are partners in more projects in a single day than most of us tackle in a lifetime. And there seems to be no spot on their agenda marked rest time.
We already have the next 10 years laid out, you know, and there's not enough time in 20 years to do it. We've got laid out for 10 years.
You've got enough projects to last you about 20 years?
Oh, every day they come out. You know, even we just made a list the other night. I started writing down when we came home from Vegas last week. Or we made a list on the airplane, you know, and we've got lists all over our apartment, on the mirrors and everything. Things we did last year, things for this year.
Many of the things on those lists are pro-Detroit promotions. And as far as Emily and Herb are concerned, the sky's the limit on their ideas.
We both know that Detroit is a town that suffers nationally. You know, people don't know what's happening here. It's behind the times. The national media and the press is a couple years behind what is really happening here. So anything you can do to put a smile on people's faces in that city, about Detroit in any city, is good for us and for the town. So we said, well, let's go to Florida and we'll try to touch all those numbers of Detroiters that go to Florida in a couple ways. One, we'll hire this sign company to pull a banner up and down the beach that says, what it did say was, hello Detroiters, enjoy Florida, but say nice things about Detroit while you're here, Emily. And then of course we had it fed up on the wire to the Detroit papers, and also ABC picked it up. And they fed it on the back page. The Detroit News had a thing that said, look, up in the sky, it's Emily Gail, and it went on to talk about why we did it.
But what most people know Emily for is her store, Emily's Across the Street, whose name has a rather unusual origin.
I started in a 9-by-12 room in the Penobscot building, and while I still had that store, in fact I also had a second store across Woodbury, I was telling somebody they had rented the space over in Congress and Shelby across the street. And they said, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to give up this store and have Emily's across the street? And I said, whoa, no, I'll keep this Emily's, and I'll also have Emily's across the street.
This little store on Congress and Shelby, and these two people are what Detroit's Renaissance is all about. And you'll just have to experience this place to believe it.
They all know what just stores are. When you walk in and it's just, it's nice and it's pretty and they got a lot of stuff, but I don't have anything different, so different than other stores. What we have is an energy level that makes people think that it's different, and it's just a feeling in the place that there's something different about the place. But if you really examine the merchandise, it can be found anywhere in town.
Those are huge. That's the way Emily says to make them. What does she do if you don't make them big enough? Does she pull your horns off? She sure does. She gets on us.
I want everybody to walk out the door smiling, and I want every kid that comes in to get a balloon and have a good time and stuff. And I probably get caught up in that, sometimes more than my energy level can take on a day-to-day basis. Hi. Thank you. Skim milk? You on the wagon today? No ice cream?